Get ready to move, get ready to prove. We're bringing the funk, gonna make you move. Life back system, it's time for change.
Coach Lisa Pickard here with you to discuss Make America Healthy Again. All of you ladies have to do your part, and it starts with not America, but you. You can make personal changes in your own life regardless of what's going on in America or worldwide, because that can take a process of time, and time is not on our side. So I want to dig just a little bit deeper about Make America Healthy Again. This is the buzz talk right now. It is critical that we're all paying attention and that we vote in the right perspective and we look after our children and grandchildren. But you know what? It's all about you. And I need you to focus on the future you. This is like absolutely critical, because if you don't take the steps to heal you and heal that woman in the mirror and take care of that warrior, you're not even going to be around to see what happens down the road. And let's just say you've got 30, 40 years left here. You need to focus on what's destroying your life and what's going to help you. So I took MAHA and I broke out the America and I put in you, because it starts with you. Literally, it starts with healing you. So how do we heal us? What is going to be the biggest difference? What's going to make you healthy again? Because you know what? It is more than just the pesticides and the chemicals. We know that's a huge contributing factor, huge. But it's about making wise decisions. And sadly, the children who are being affected, they don't know that they're on the road to sickness. And now you've already been on the road of sickness and you're on the road to healthiness. So these decisions, depending on what path you are on and what decisions you make, is exactly how much more time you're going to put back into your body. So there's a lot of studies I'm going to be releasing later today, well, tonight in the live, which I'm asking every one of you, please show up to the live, because this is going to be critical information for you. So just to summarize a really short, sweet whiteboard this morning, what do we have going on that has destroyed you? First and foremost, chemicals. Now, there's a lot of chemicals in the world you can't change. It is the way it is. You have emissions, you have cars, vehicles, planes, trains, big factories. This is all affecting everything that you breathe every day. So you can't really control what's in your environment 100%, but you can control, let's just say, for example, that we have in the explosive industry, we had a secondary zone, and that was 1,500 feet, right? And then we had a primary zone that was 500 feet. So just for example, let's say that your home is your primary zone. So that's where you spend most of your time, or maybe even your office, depending on where you spend most of your time. You have a pretty good control over that. Maybe you don't if you work like at Walmart or something like that, but a lot of us are able to control what's happening in our own home. So this 500-foot radius is something where you always reside, where you're spending, like, let's say 70 to 75% of your time. You can kind of control those chemicals a little bit. You could do better on the purchasing of your cleaning fluids, your makeup, your hair, your shampoo, all this type of stuff. You have more control over that. Your nails, what type of polish you use, what type of lotion. These are things that you can actually start to control. Very simply, just make switches, right? You're just going to switch from where you were to where you need to be. The next one, after the chemicals, you're going to look at the ingredients on something. Now, this is critical. In the beginning of this program, I put together how to become an investigator or a detective of ingredients. It is your job and your responsibility to take those words that you cannot pronounce, highlight them, go to search web and see what they are and what are the side effects. You might find that it has been killing your liver all along. And of course, when the liver goes down, we have our autoimmune disease and we have lots of malfunctions in our body. No different than your engine. If the engine light comes on and something's not functioning properly, that's like your ingredients. You're gonna have a warning. You're gonna start to have the symptoms. We're gonna go straight across this board. I want you to ask yourself, am I paying for something that's truly organic? Or is it organic because of the dirt but not the chemicals? Is it truly organic. So I want you to look at your money investment versus their money profit. This is huge. I don't really want to go into politics or money, but I do have to touch on it just a little bit because this is critical, you guys. Your money is hard-earned money, and it isn't flowing through your front door, especially if you're retired, you're living on a budget. So look into the truth of what you're buying. Is it actually making you sick? Because the odds are it is, unless you've already done some switching, you've gone back to, like, let's just say cleaning with vinegar, whatever it is. You know, a lot of people hate that smell, so they're always looking for an alternative. Maybe you're already into essential oils. Whatever it is, you need to know, are you getting the best value, not the best bang, but the best value for your dollar? So look at dollars versus dollars. Who's on the better end of that stick now? Are you getting the short end of the stick? If you're here, most likely you have gotten the short end of the stick, which will be down there, and we'll get over there in a minute. Remember that this all started in the agricultural trade, right? Now, why do I say that? Because when it was original, nobody got paid for failing crops. Nobody got paid for things that didn't go well. Well, now there's a lot of subsidizing going on, and guess what? As a taxpayer, you are paying to make yourself sick. So again, watch your dollars, know what's going on. I know most of us don't watch the stock market, but pay attention to what's going on when we get over to this toxin level. Federal programs are just that. So we have federal programs that allow, like, let's call it WIC, right? Because that's a subsidized income for food. Do you know that that is all approved for, like, energy drinks, candy, all these, you know, fattening, processed, super processed, ultra processed foods? And what is it doing? It's going back into the federal program that goes back into the money, that goes back into the ingredients and the chemicals that makes these people who are already suffering. And I've been there, so yes, I can talk about this. I've had WIC programs before, and actually 5 years ago, I wrote a letter to the governor, and I was like, this is ridiculous. You cannot buy pads for a young girl who doesn't have a father and needs income, but I can buy energy drinks all day long. Do you not see there's something wrong with this program? So make America healthy again. I'm all for it, you guys. I'm on board, and I am going to be a voice for it 100%. My mission is definitely to make a change. But who does it start with? It starts with you and I. How does it start? Being aware. Where are the dollars going? Is it part of your responsibility because you're retired and you don't have any children and you don't have any grandchildren? Sure, it's your responsibility. It's still your money that funds these programs that are making mental illness worse in the long run. We'll dive into that later deeper. Okay, so now let's go over to toxins. Well, what are those toxins, Coach? There's a lot of toxins: pesticides, herbicides, poisons. There's arsenic in things. We've got all kinds of weed killers making us sick, very sick, with Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. But did it start because of this, or did it start because of what it did to your body, and then the outcome is more dementia, Alzheimer's, that type of stuff? It really screws with the mental health of every human being, including 2- and 3-year-old children. This is ADD, ADHD. This is why our kids, we're feeding them junk, we're rewarding them with junk, and they just continue to get sicker. So thousands of pesticides, herbicides, poisons, weed killers are being used, and then on top of it, thousands of dollars are being spent, again, just to make us sick, and we're buying it. So not only are we paying it, but now we're buying it, and then we're paying it on the backside, which we'll get over there. Okay, crops, weed killers, all that type of stuff. If you were to grow any kind of crop in your own backyard, it may or may not be successful. Most likely you're going to have a huge battle with weeds, and you're going to spend more time weeding than reaping the rewards of your harvest, number one. And number two, the bugs are going to get to it before you can. So again, if you've ever gardened, which I have many times, you can look at this and realize it's actually just defeating its own purpose, right? Like you dump all this money into it because you got to go to the stores, get the right stuff. You have your soil tested, you plant the seeds. Like in the desert here, the seeds all blow away. You have to start over. It's very, very expensive. So you go, oh, you know what? I'll just go to the store and buy those fresh green peppers or red peppers. And they're so brilliant and big. Why? Because of how they've been treated with toxins to look really good and appealing to your eye, which is why ultimately vegetables and fruit are killing us, because not because of the actual fruit, you guys. I don't want you to think like I'm against fruit. I'm not, but I am against our fruit. And the reason why is that these toxins are killing us. Not to mention, along with that, we have grain, we have sugars, we have wheats, we have corn, ultra processed. And then the way that the storage works, we have mold. Mold is a whole nother beast, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but if you're going to make America great, you're going to make you great, you want to make that gut great, you have got to get rid of the mold, all right? Now, a lot of people have black mold in their home, especially, you know, if you live in a moisture area or whatever. That is also going to kill you. And again, that goes back up to your environment. What can you do about it? Either treat it, paint it, do whatever you got to do, but get the external mold under control. But we have to focus on the internal mold and what that has done to your liver and then seeped into your gut, all right? So your small intestines, large intestine, this is all affected. So now we go over to, we're just looking at a process here. We've got the pesticides and the herbicides, and they affect, as we were just saying, our foods that we eat, which is vegetables, fruits, processed foods, ultra processed foods. Stay out of those inner aisles. Like, don't go looking for a substitute that's keto approved or whatever, because you know what? It's not approved. Until this system changes, there is nothing, you have to push back. Like, there is nothing in those aisles that will ever serve the outcome. They might serve the moment. You might have a weak moment and go, oh, I just want to have one, or I'm just going to have a little. And this goes for dairy. This goes for everything. Literally, go to the butcher shop, go to your local farmer, find a neighbor, buy your meat from someone you trust that didn't just say, oh yeah, we finished it grass, we finished this, and then literally it's full of grain, which has all of these things on it. So you got to do your best. Am I saying you can't be carnivore if that's all you can afford? No, because we eat a lot of meat that is not grass-fed, and it all depends on how serious the damage is to your liver and how fast your gut is healing, and then what is it doing to your mental health. This is a process that we have to go through in order to get to the outcome on that side. Okay, seed oils, saturated fats are definitely 100% killing you. Do not do any seed oils, because you know what? None of it's going to be good for you. If you're doing vegetable oil, I hate to break the news, there's no vegetables in that oil, and I'm going to go into that later. The process that it took for them to get you to where you are is horrific. It is absolutely horrific that I have been using vegetable oil for well over 50 years. It's no wonder I had extreme arthritis, joint pain, hip pain, knee pain, neuropathy, autoimmune disease, thyroid disease. You guys, this is all connected right here. So stop shopping the cheap, stop shopping the better of the worst, and get after that tallow. Go raise your children, take care of yourself on tallow. The tallow is going to bring back your health. 100%. Scratch what America's doing and go after you, and the tallow is going to heal that liver, because you have a liver problem along with all these problems. So we're going to make you great again, or healthy again. Okay, elimination. You have already, I pray, stopped all carbs. You have stopped all packaged foods, all packaged foods. You have stopped all processed foods. So 0 carbs, 0 packaged food, 0 processed. Why? Why do you have to stop that? Because we're going to go right back over here and what is in your process, or what's in your packages and how it's been processed of what you've been consuming. I am so guilty. You guys, like literally, if I was going to go to prison for this, I'd be getting a life sentence. I ate so so many crackers, chicken and a biscuit, ranch dressing, one of the most toxic dressings on the planet. I put it on everything. I have a daughter who puts it on her pancakes. Like literally, I look at this and I'm just like, good Lord, how did I fall so far? And I did, and we all do. So don't beat yourself up. Get up instead and make good decisions. So all of this is going away. So this is the process of elimination. A lot of people think elimination is, oh, start eliminating things until you figure out what's wrong. No, all things are wrong right now. Every single thing going on inside your body has led you to this program, and you are here because you need some serious help. We have some livers that are very damaged, and again, is it just the chemicals or just the toxins or just the food, or is it just about eliminating? No. The next step is we have to heal. So we're gonna move over to the next one, which, by the way, after you've done this and you start to get sick, now we have allergies, you know, we have gluten allergies, we've got allergies as far as sinuses go, we have migraines, this is all allergy related, it's all gut related. We're gonna look at their solution is drugs. The FDA says, oh, you know, hey doc, look at the symptom, then write a prescription, Big Pharma will take care of that, then they get paid for the amount of prescriptions they give you a year. And I'm gonna share a picture tonight. You guys are gonna be shocked, and it is mind-boggling to me that anybody, and especially somebody I know and love, could end up in these shoes. So again, pay attention to what's going on to you and your loved ones, because you would be shocked at how sick our environment is with our humans, not just our dogs, our horses, and everything else. So this right here takes you right back to the money. This is all about the money. Now, you're not just a number to me, nor are you just money. You came here because I want you to heal that liver, and you want to heal your liver. So it's gonna help by education. You've got to get to be an investigator of ingredients or a good detective. Know what you're putting in your body. Be really, really cautious when you eat out. I see people all day long, oh, you could be a carnivore and still do ketchup. You could be a carnivore and still do syrup. You could make your carnivore 80% and 20% of just whatever, but that is not going to work when your liver is sick. As a matter of fact, it's going to get sicker and sicker and sicker, especially if you're doing all that and you have migraines and then you take a migraine pill, right? Or let's say you have anxiety or bipolar and you're taking a depression pill. This is still going to feed your liver to destroy it. So you're still going to come back and have an unhealthy you. All right, so we started to talk about allergies. There are thousands of type of allergies, and all of them, you could Google it all day long, and it goes right back to a sluggish liver. That was the beginning stage. Then we have a fatty, then we have a hepatic, which could be from hepatitis. Then we have a fibrosis, and ultimately we have cirrhosis, and then we have liver transplant, liver cancer, and or liver death. Now, obviously, if you were healthy enough to get a transplant, your life will never be the same. It can or cannot take it, and if it does take it, you are living restricted for the rest of your life anyways. So why not just get that liver healthy now? I'm telling you guys, the world is unaware of what's going on with their livers. I can literally look at people and dissect exactly what's going on. I'm so thankful that I've been blessed with the gift to do that, because it's really, really simple for me to just snap Johnny on the spot, look at your blood work and say, this is what you need to do. Okay, so now let's look at the market again. We have billions of dollars in the drug industry. These drug makers and people, anybody in the medical field, there is so much money going into healing cancer, but it's funny, nobody ever gets healed. Taking care of lupus, but nobody's got a cure. Taking care of fibro, but nobody knows how to cure it. You look at this and it really makes me sick, because I might not be able to cure it, and I'm definitely not a doctor, nor am I claiming to be a doctor, but you can make it better. That's the whole key here. 1% better, and in 100 days, you're gonna be 100% better, because we want to make you healthy again. And if you start with you, it's gonna trickle over to your friends and your family and everybody in your circle. And do not be offended if it doesn't, because you know what? I have a lot of people in my circle that think I'm nuts, that don't want to participate, that will not do it. And all I can say is that I have a client, she's 102 years old. All I can do is tell you guys, she says the one thing that she wished she would have known is that more people would have been there when she got there. 102 years old, that's a long life. If you didn't have children, which she didn't, and her husband has passed away, as a matter of fact, a gal in this group is pretty much her best friend. It's sad. It's sad that, you know, she took care of herself and she made it to 102. She's glowing, she's beautiful, but there's nobody there to share that with her. So yes, our heart is broken because we want to bring everybody on board, but we have to let them get on the boat when they're ready. Not everybody wanted to get on Noah's boat, right? But we already know what happened with that. Everybody thought he was crazy. You can think I'm crazy. I have people all day long that go, you're nuts, there's no way. All I can say is I walk my talk. I do a very good job of not having these discussions at the dinner table or any kind of political arena where people think, oh, you're just a conspiracist. No, I'm telling you the truth. Absolutely 100%. This is the outcome of either where you are or where you're gonna be. And we're here to change. We're here to make a difference in you first, and then we're gonna make a difference in America. So we get rid of fatty liver disease. How? We go after a nutrient-rich, let's just call it a menu or a way of eating, which is red meat. Now, it could be other meats if you had elk, deer, moose, remnants, whatever it is, but there is a protocol. And something was said over the weekend, and I'm not going to say who said it, but as long as you're carnivore, you will always get sufficient protein. I would like to argue that because not all meat is created equally. So you do have to know your meats. You do have to have balance. You do have to be aware of how the meat was processed or where it came from or what it was fed. You have to be aware of these things. It's not just be carnivore and get on the carnivore movement and be like, oh, I'm carnivore, I'm gonna be healthy. No, because carnivore is any animal byproduct. So now you have cheeses. If you're, you know, in Wisconsin, you're gonna be like, oh, cheese is from an animal, I'm gonna eat massive amounts. Well, what happens if it's highly ultra processed cheese? Now you're putting those chemicals back in. Where did the cheese come from? What was it fed? Does it have mold inside of it? Is that transferring to your gut? Do you have allergies? These are all things that add up to a nutrient-rich, healthy, dense red meat. Now, I get it. Grass-fed is way overpriced, just like organic food or buying your horse the best products. The bottom line is you have to do your best. So if you're not gonna buy grass-fed, at least buy from a farmer that you feel is responsible and is not giving you bad meat. Do the investigative steps that you need to find out whether you wanna be USDA, buy from, you know, a private party, which if you guys need a meat private party to buy from, I have a great one. I don't like that their meat is too lean. We need that fat. Buy the animal fat, cook the fat, eat the fat. But yes, you must get protein as well because your body will not repair your hair, your skin, your rashes, all of this, eczema, psoriasis, this is all part of the liver because the liver didn't have the nutrient-dense, rich meat, the vitamins and the protein that it needed to stay healthy. We'll talk more about that tonight because that's a whole nother subject. But I want to dig just a little bit deeper into the meat. So what is the contamination in meat? Now, there's a lot of, you know, controversy over pig, right? Because pigs eat everything. So you're eating whatever they ate. That could be a really gross topic or thought, but there's also some benefit in the red part of pork. So the white part I would stay away from. Again, your call, your decision. Maybe you raise your own pigs, you know exactly what went into them. We used to raise our own pigs. Then in that case, I would be like, yeah, have at it. Do what you want to do. A lot of people won't eat bear. Bear is part of the pig family. It's the same thing. I've eaten bear for years and I made sausage out of it, but I didn't know what that bear was eating, but I do know it was eating in the wild. So it was probably eating a lot of up in Idaho, huckleberries. It was probably, and it tasted really good, but I would have to pretty much bank on the fact that it was healthy. It was not being in captivity or farmed. Let's talk about fish for a moment. So fish is another thing. I know lots and lots of women who love sushi, clams, mussels. They can be great depending on how they were raised, where you got them from. And raw fish is the #1 carrier of parasites. So when you have IBS, you have gut issues, you have parasites in your system, again, this goes back to your liver, which ultimately brings us down to what we're going to discuss later, mental illness. We have to pay attention. It all started right here. The top line brings you down here to the outcome, or we change it and we end up on the other side. Okay, so now we have nutrient-rich meats or products, whatever you're taking in, and then we have you've made all these decisions, and on the other side of the pain is healing. So we can make all these choices, right? And if we make good choices, the outcome is going to be healing. Healing of the liver, healing of your different types of foods, your allergies, getting rid of the elimination, picking the right foods, getting rid of the toxins and the chemicals. You can read it backwards, and that's going to be going this way. We're coming across it, and we're going to be hitting healing. Now, if you went this way, and then you didn't focus on the type of meat you were picking, the type of food you're eating, you're gonna have a sick gut, you're gonna just have overall sickness, we're gonna have all kinds of autoimmune disease, you're just literally gonna have germs inside your body nonstop. Your bad bugs are gonna take over your microbes, your good bugs are gonna be killed off, your zombie cells are gonna take over, and you're gonna end up sick and then ultimately death. That's a grim road. So let's stay on the high road, follow the program, do what you're supposed to do, and let's let that healing begin. And most of us are already on that journey, but no matter where you are, today is day 1, and we keep going forward. Now, I want to talk just quickly down here. Mental illness, you're going to read it this way or you're going to read it this way. It doesn't matter. So mental illness gives you your gut. Your gut comes from your liver. Your liver has to feed the brain. The brain gets fed drugs. The drugs destroy your liver. The liver is going to not feed the gut. The gut is not going to feed the brain. And the outcome is depression, anxiety, and mental health. So no matter what we have going on here, we have a lot of dysfunction, and this is seen in little tiny children, little kids, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, anger, temper tantrums, having fits. A lot of people say, oh, they're just spoiled. They don't even know why they're doing what they're doing, because mental illness has already started to affect them because they're living on a chemical diet. So yes, MAHA, we're coming after you. We want to make America healthy again. But at the end of the day, you guys, it's so much more than all of this. This is the equal, but we have to focus on this. And if we don't focus on healing your liver, you're just never gonna get the outcome that you want, which is healing. All right, you guys, I will see you back tonight, 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. If this stirred some questions in your mind, send them to me, write them on the page, tag me, whatever you got to do. We want to get in as many questions as possible tonight. And then as the chat is running, please be ready to shoot those questions out. Please show up. I need your support tonight. I need every warrior in there, because this is going to be the launch going into 2025. Keep America alive. Start with you. So let's get this done. See you back soon. Take care and God bless.